Hello everyone. Now we are going to see Optiva Framework and how we can exploit Jboss related vulnerabilities. So two tools we are going to cover up in this session. So first of all, we'll move on to Optiva Framework. The link to download Optiva Framework is also provided in your references section. Let me copy it up once again in case it's not there. Yes, it is available. So Optiva Framework is a normal web application scanner, and it has got some things which can be used, some utilities which can be used. So in order to install or get Optiva Framework for your machine, these are the commands available. I have already installed up in my machine, so in one of my machines. So I'll just run Optiva, and once Optiva is running, this is how it shows up. And when you write help, it will show you all of the commands which can be used. Suppose we are going up with show modules option. So these are some of the modules. These are the, I would say, these are the modules which are available in Optiva. Port scanner, which will run, which is usually running nmap in the background. Then the whois domain, IP locator. Suppose if you have got an IP, then it will give you the information about where this IP address is located. If you want to create some hash or you want to search for Sql injection, this administrator panel finder. When I used Optiva, like somewhere around 7 or 8 months ago, for the first time, I used only this part, which was admin scanner modules, and it gave me the administrator panel. So that was the first moment when I thought, okay, whenever I will create some video, I will definitely include admin part here. So I am going to use one of the modules, which is Sql injection as of now. So we have already opened up this test PHP website. So let me take it up, and on the module I would just write SQL, and it will ask me what is the domain on which I want to test for SQL. So this is the URL for test PHP. I'm just writing one because that is kind of numeric and easy for all of the scanners to find out the vulnerabilities here. Pressing enter, and it is trying to fire up certain payloads for SQL. Frankly speaking, I never got to understand what payload was fired, and whenever it says not vulnerable, I as a security consultant, I don't know what payload was fired actually. As in, only for the vulnerable part, it can show us that when it entered double quote, there was an error or something, due to which Optiva can understand that this particular URL is vulnerable to SQL injection. So these are some of the options which are available in Optiva. We can try for some other techniques, like we can try for whois, and the domain would be HTTP. Okay, let me write 0 dot I'm just using this one because this is a test site. So 0.webappsecurity.com, and it will tell me the whois information. I know that the last update, and I would say the masking for 0.webappsecurity.com was done recently, so it won't find anything at the whois, but you can certainly use Optiva, and this might be a good tool in your arsenal. The next tool we are going to look up at is Jxboss. This tool is for finding out Jboss related vulnerabilities, and usually those vulnerabilities are because of Java deserialization. Now, in order to download Jxboss, the link to download Jxboss is available in here on GitHub. Let me put it up in the resources part. So that was for Optiva, Jxboss, and let me keep it here. Okay, so these are the docs which I have used when I try to find Jboss related vulnerable points or vulnerable domains or vulnerable areas. These are the Google Docs which I use. If you want to target some particular domain or particular site, you can add it along with the doc site, like site UK, or United Kingdom, and then you can put up the URL. This doc for JMX console, HTML adapter, or web console invoker, this is also written on exploit DB. I have given this reference. If you wish, you can find some more docs from here or other places from Google hacking database. Now, in order to move on or find out some Jboss vulnerable or uh, the servers where Jboss is actually running, and in order to test them out with Jxboss, I actually found some targets which I found using Shodan. So these are the targets which are running Jboss. Now, before starting up with this, let me come up to Jxboss once again, and in order to install Jxboss, these are the commands you need to run in order to install it on your machine. I have already installed it, so I'm not going to run it. Now, since I have already installed, and this is the file which we are going to run, so Python and Jxboss .py -h for help options. Now in Jxboss there are so many options available, and frankly speaking, this tool finds out some information and some vulnerable endpoints as well, or some vulnerabilities even, and this can be used to even exploit them. Although I'm not going to exploit something which is available on internet, so firstly I'll move on to my Shodan, and Shodan gave me some IP addresses which are running Jboss, and some of them are written in here. So as in, for example, if I want to run, as in port number 8080 is running Jboss EAP7, and this is the IP address 217.64 200. So let us go to the terminal, and herein I will write Python Jxboss -host http. I'm just writing http. You can omit it. So 217.64.114.200, port number 8080 / and press enter. Now this tool will try to find out these particular things, like checking for Jenkins, checking for servlet deserialization, and in case any of the point is vulnerable and can give you some shell, it instead of returning back onto the terminal point, it would give you an option to say yes or no if you want to exploit them or not, and in case it is exploited, it will give you a shell. So this is for Jxboss, and I advise not to run Jxboss or not to run Jxboss or Optiva or any other tool on any of the domain which you are not authorized to do, because that might get you into uh, some of the issues, and you might end up in some problems. So instead of running it anywhere, you can run only on the targets or only on the areas where you are authorized to. As in, for example, if I am running Jxboss over this particular IP address, then when it was actually, in this case, it is showing everything is okay, but when or I would say that in case any of these things was vulnerable, and if Jxboss was asking me write yes or no if you want to exploit them or not, then I would definitely be writing no, and because I do not want to run it up in an unauthorized facility. So that's all about Jxboss and Optiva, and we'll meet in the next part. Thank you.